Thanks once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Derek Lane. You're listening to the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. I appreciate your listenership, and make sure you share, like, and share. Leave positive comments. Thanks a lot. Hey, I was kind of giving this a toss around this week as to why is it that some people seem to be able to make it. I mean, just everything that they do touches, they touch turns to gold. And other people, man, they strive, and hardship after hardship. I can tell you one thing. It does seem to be that way sometimes. I've met people that are just downright lucky. But that's okay. I don't begrudge that person. I'm happy for that person. And in some cases, I want to, befriend that person and learn a little bit about them. What makes them tick? What makes them go? How did they become successful? What are they doing? And that's what we should all be doing. We should be learning by the people that have kind of set the bar. I've been around people that have just taken silly, stupid ideas and they didn't even know that they weren't supposed to work. They just did it, and somehow it worked, and now they have a thriving business that employs people and allows them to exercise their success and freedom. And that's kind of what we all hope for. That's kind of where we all want to be, exercise ourselves in freedom. Now, you don't have to own a business, because sometimes it's not for everybody. Sometimes owning a business is a headache. It's a large headache. But if you invest in yourself into the field that drives you, then you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're doing what works for you. And that's success. But, I remember a long time ago, a guy had a company, and got to talking to him about his company. And so what do you think success means to you? And the guy looked at me and goes, pencils. Okay, never heard that one before. Pencils. Why are pencils the definition of success for you? He said, if you can go door to door and sell pencils, then you have what it takes to be successful. Learn to develop your characteristics of what people want, how to sell to people. Sometimes it doesn't matter what it is. And I guess he was using pencils as a metaphor for something, the most universal, nobody, if you knock on somebody's door, they're not dying. They're going to get pencils. They don't go, hey, goodness gracious, I'm glad you showed up. I needed pencils. So what he was kind of expressing was the idea that if you know how to sell pencils, and you can sell pencils, then you can sell basically anything. And then as long as you believe in it, you believe in your product that you can sell. And no, it doesn't have to be door to door. It's just the product that you sell. And the product could be you, but you got to sell you. And again, you got to believe in you. It's a very important lesson. So it doesn't matter your background, your age, what you look like. What matters is that you go through life with happy in your heart, and you utilize happy in your heart to sell things, to let people know that you're a good person and you're a hard worker and you're always looking on the bright side. People that are miserable miss the opportunities. They miss the opportunity to enjoy life because you may not be successful right now, and that's what you desperately want is success. But in your effort to achieve success, it doesn't mean that you have to be miserable, sad. It just means that you need to control who you are. You always be in control of your emotions. And sometimes it's the people with the least that help the most, that reach out. People, may not have an extra quarter in their pocket, but when they see somebody that quarter could definitely make a difference, they're willing to hand it out to help that other person. Now, I'm not saying you have to go around, handing money out or anything. The goal is here for you to make money, to earn money, but to earn your respect in the world, in the universe. Earn respect in this universe and allow that universe to pay you. Because if you love yourself enough and you love the folks around you and you get rid of misery and doubt and fear if you get rid of all of those negative emotions and you find ways to be happy, that's kind of the trick to it. Is if things are bringing you down and you're feeling like crud, find something. Take one thing in your life and put that smile on. Let your heart warm up a little bit, because you're always going to be battling, negative vibrations in life. If you're always out here doubting and you have fear and you're miserable and you're always blaming situations and circumstances on shortcomings, that's a death knell. Accept it. Accept what's happening in your world, good or bad. Accept it and understand that you can overcome this. You don't have anybody else running your life. You run your life. It is your show. You do what you do. You do what you do to succeed. You take advice, good or bad. Sometimes you give advice, good or bad. But every action that you do is you. You make those actions, make those creative thoughts ones that work for you and work in your best interest. If you allow the universe to help you, it doesn't have a choice. It will. It's the nature of the universe, the law. Vibrational frequencies and fields that if you manifest these things to the best of your ability, and you don't have to do some weird stuff to do that. All you got to do is just have a smile and have happy in your heart, and it works. Truly have happy in your heart, and you'll start to see problems melt, opportunities being created. It's definitely a wonderful thing. Make sure that you help others along the way. We've talked about this. One of the most ideal ways to create karma in your life, good karma, I should say, is by helping other people in one fashion or another, one way or another, just something. When you tell little lies, you create little situations of selfishness, and then you wonder sometimes why something crappy happened to you somewhere. That's karma. So always have the best thing, best interest for yourself at heart. Always do the best thing for yourself, the thing that motivates you. We all have a modus operandi, that the reason that we do things. This is our pattern. This is what we do. But use that in a way that motivates you. Use your MO to motivate yourself to doing the things that you prosper from, that you garner a happy heart, a bigger bank account, a wiser, more intelligent you, the people around you. Just create a network around you of people. Trust your gut instincts with people. Understand that the law of nature puts people in places, and they're there to help you. But when you carry a dark cloud around you, and you're a little bit on the sinister side, then that's when the negative people come into your life. That's when the bad, negative vibes happen, and you don't want that. You don't want that. Live in a place where there's positive, upbeat vibes. Learn to change that inner attitude. Make sure that inner attitude is one that works for you well. Do the best that you can every day, every single day. Make sure that you're doing things to have a happy heart. I promise you everything in your life. And we talked about this too, that if you practice it a little bit and it works for you and you can see the benefits of it, then it gives you motivation to keep practicing it more and more and more. And is it tough? Is it tough to be positive every single waking moment? Yes, it is, because silly things, but it's a challenge. You have to look at it as a challenge. People cut you off in traffic. Hey, they probably didn't see you. Let it go. Don't get upset. Don't feed that. Don't feed that negative emotion that you just got because some bozo cut you off in traffic. Someone was rude to you at a market or whatever. Smile, let it go. We don't know what's going on in their personal world. Maybe they're having a very rough day. Okay, and a smile back, a sincere, not sarcastic, a sincere smile back, maybe what that person needs. And you could have helped somebody that really ticked you off. And you're like, I'm not helping that person. They was rude to me. Heck with them. See, that's what I'm talking about. When you get past that vindictive, revenge mechanism that's in your heart, or sometimes it's in your heart. You get rid of that and you move past it, and you start saying, okay, all right, I'm going to be bigger than this. I'm going to be the person that says, I get it. They probably had a bad day. Let it go. It's not the end of the world. You're going to carry that negative emotion around with you all day long. You're not going to believe what happened to me. I was in the supermarket earlier today. When? Oh, about 4 or 5 hours ago. And this rude person, guess what? If that's you, you're telling somebody about how rude somebody was 5 hours later. You're carrying it around with you. You didn't let it go. Let it go. Because the person that you're telling it to is going, yeah, well, things happen. I don't really want to hear about a rude person unless you're hanging around with negative people and they feed on it. It's like throwing bait to a bunch of sharks. If that's the case, realize it. Have a moment where you realize that. Quit harboring ill feelings. Get to the happy heart. That's what changes in your life. That's what makes your life better. That's what makes everybody's life around you better. And that's why people want to be around you. You ever been around somebody that when other people talk about them, they say, I've never heard them say a bad word about anybody. Never heard them say a bad word about anybody. Well, sure, I bet. Well, that person has probably learned in their life that harboring ill feelings doesn't do anything for you. It is a takeaway. It's a takeaway from you. So don't do it. Don't harbor the ill feelings. Be the person of bonus. Okay, listen, I've kind of, expressed this a little bit, and I think we all get it. I don't want to continue on with it. I just wanted to touch on it just because I know that it's so easy. It's so easy to let negative thoughts and emotions into your life, and I want you to fight it. Fight back. Be the person that fights back and just says, damn it, I'm not going to allow this. Okay? So, hey, but thanks again, Fastlane Podcast for Success. If you got something to add or want to share a story with me, some people do, and I love it. It's great. Derek at FastlanePodcast.com. Derek at FastlanePodcast.com. Shoot me an email. If you just want to pop me an email and say hello, that's fine too. I appreciate it. Some people do that as well. Stitcher, Spreaker, Google Play, iTunes, iHeart, YouTube, wherever. It's all out there. Spotify. So I appreciate your listenership, and I leave you with the knowledge that you now have a happy heart. So thanks again for joining me. Have a great and wonderful day. I appreciate you all.